my breath away. In the vast skies of love, I'm free. As long as you're here with me.
Good morning, my wobbly dude. How are you doing today? Ooh, your fur is getting so thin. Should we make something today? Okay, so festive DIY. We are gonna make a little gift house for a hamster or a other small animal, other small cute little rodenty thing, or not rodent. Usual disclaimer about making fabric toys: most hamsters don't chew fabric excessively, but there are always exceptions. If you know that your hamster or whatever other pet you want to make this for is a fabric chewer, I do not recommend giving them fabric toys. For this DIY, I'm using 2 different colors of fleece. I've got red and white, classic colors, of course. You're also going to want some fabric scissors and a needle and thread, or if you're lucky enough to have one, a sewing machine. Needle and thread works just fine, it just takes a bit longer. And if you want to make your life even easier, it's a good idea to have a template. This is one I've made myself, cut from a piece of thin cardboard. It's a 10 by 10 centimeter square with a circle cut in the middle as a doorway. This size is fine for dwarves and mice, but if you're making it for a Syrian, I recommend doing a 15 by 15 centimeter square. Out of your 2 pieces of fabric, pick which color you want to be your main one. I'm going with the red, so I've cut out a smaller piece here just because it's easier to show on camera. Then take your template, place that on top, and draw around it. Yes, I am using a felt tip pen to do this instead of tailor's chalk. 1, because it shows up a lot better on camera than tailor's chalk does, and 2, because whenever I do this, it annoys people. You just want to do the perimeter of the square right now, don't worry about the door, we'll come back to that later. Place that to one side and take your secondary color and cut out a strip of fabric that is long enough that it goes over the square that you've drawn. Centralize it as best you can in the middle of the square and then stitch along these 2 edges to keep it in place. Nothing fancy for this, I'm just going to go with a simple straight stitch and stitch as close to the edge of the fabric as I can. Then you'll want to take a second piece of your main coloured fabric and place it underneath your first main piece, and then we're going to sew the 2 pieces of fabric together by following the line round that you drew earlier. That's what it looks like. The 2 pieces are securely attached, so now I'm just going to trim away all the excess fabric. Go as close to the thread as you can without actually cutting into it. And that's one of the sides of your presents done. In total, you need to make 3 of these identical pieces. You also want to make a 4th one that has the white fabric going in a cross shape across the top. So that's going to be the top of the present, that's the back, and those are the 2 sides. You can make this hide without a base if that's what you prefer, but if you want to make a base for it, all you need to do is to make another one of these squares just without the ribbon. So that's the 2 layers sewn together, and that's it. For the front piece, the first few steps are identical to what we've just done. You want to draw out your template onto a piece of fabric, cut out a strip of fabric and sew that to the front. The difference is now we're going to flip this over. We're going to take our template back, place it on there, and then we're going to lose our pen. Where's my pen? And then draw around the door part of the template, trying to keep your fabric in place. There we go. Once again, take a piece of your main coloured fabric and layer the 2 on top of each other, but this time make sure the ribbon is facing down. So you've got the template for the door facing upwards. With the 2 pieces held together, we're going to sew around that line for the door. So now those 2 pieces are joined together and we can cut out the centre of the circle because we don't need that part. To turn it the right way out, just take the top layer of the fabric and push it through the hole It looks fiddly, but it is very straightforward. Push that through. And then smooth that out. And doing that will leave you with a very clean looking doorway, and the only thing left to do is once again stitch around the outside of that square template. So then we've got our front piece with the doorway, we've got the base, the top, the two sides and the back piece. So first we're going to take this side, we're going to lay it over the top of the front piece, and then we're going to stitch the two pieces together up this side here, so as close to the edge as we can. There we go, those two pieces together, and then we're going to do the same with this side piece, placing it over the doorway. I'm going to stitch along that edge. And again, taking this piece, laying it over the top of that other side and sewing along the edge. And with the top and base, we're going to do this in one go. First, I'm going to place that over the doorway and then sew it there. And then after that's joined, I'll take the base, do the same thing and sew it along the bottom. So that was the easy bit. Now we're on to the part that's slightly, just a tiny bit trickier. So now we're going to start folding this up into an actual cube shape. We're going to do this inside out because we're going to flip it the right way out at the end. So fold up the base and then fold up this side, and then you kind of want to pinch these two parts together and you want to sew along there. Once those two edges are sewn together, we're going to do the exact same with the top, fold it up and then pinch those two sides and sew together. Alright, next wall. Fold it on up once again. This is where it gets a little fiddly. Sew along that edge and then flip over and sew along that edge. We are so very close to being done. We've lost all the light. We're working fully artificial lighting right now, but it's nearly done. Oh, we have to just fold the top down and then, as you can probably guess from the previous steps, sew along the edge, pinch together, sew along the edge, and pinch together and sew along the edge. And that would be it. The best lighting I could possibly choose. But I've got my little cube, my cute little cube. I mean, it's still inside out. We do need to turn it the right way, and to do that, get the doorway and you just want to push it through. Look at it! Look at how cute it is! Now, I think it's quite clear to see that it is still missing something. It's missing a bow on top. Of course, what's a present without a bow? I have an idea, I have thoughts, I have a plan, I have a new template. This is the template I've made for my bow. It's like a funky pair of glasses. It's about 1.5 centimeters wide at the narrowest points, and then 6 centimeters wide at the widest points, and then 20 centimeters long. Of course, if you were making this for the bigger size, the Syrian size, then you'd want to make this bigger. But those are the measurements for the dwarf one. 2 pieces of the white fabric placed on top of each other, like that. Template on top too. And let's draw around this. There it is, and you guess what I'm going to do next? I'm going to sew along that line. And then cut away the excess fabric. So now we have an even better superhero eye mask. Fantastic, very happy with that. So then I'm going to fold the one side over so that the narrow end is at the narrow part of the center. And I'm going to do the same for the other side, fold that over and overlap them slightly as well. And then I'll run a line of stitches through the middle there. Look at it, it's so cute. It's so adorable. I think the last thing I'm going to do with it before I put it on the present is actually fold it in half in the center, like that. And then I'm going to probably hand stitch through the middle there, just so it's a bit more poofy and bow-like. Look at it. Look how cute my baby's going to be with a little ribbon on top. Oh my goodness, it's so cute. All right, where is my needle and thread? I'm going to stab myself in the finger multiple times because I don't own a thimble, and even if I did own one, I'd probably lose it, and so I'd technically not own one anyway, so there's no point in me actually going out and buying one, because I definitely would lose it. I only have 22 seconds left on my memory card, but look, it's cute, it's poofy. It's not focused. Focus, damn you. But look at the little bow. It's so cute. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's so cute. 8 seconds left. We made this. You should make one too. Thank you for watching.